Is it a giraffe or is it Ms Danesco? You be the judge. I am here to tell you a little bit about the Mutapa Empire, a vast empire that lasted for almost 200 years in South Central Africa. First, let's put it on the timeline. Here's fact number one. This empire began in about 1450 AD, so that's where it would fit in the big timeline we're doing. Second fact, well, where was this place? Funny you should ask. I actually have a little picture of it for you so you can see not only its size, but also its general location. So hold on, there's going to be a glow for a second, but then now I can see it. Sorta. There you go. So as you can see, you see Madagascar there? That's in the middle of the ocean. So you can see we're not quite on the coast, west coast or east coast. We're kind of central. And we're not totally in the south, but we're getting there. The modern day countries involved would be Mozambique, importantly, and a little bit of Angola, a couple other places. So that's where we're talking about. Now, why was this important? First of all, if you remember back in the days of studying the Middle Ages, we learned about centralized government. The Mutapa Empire provided centralized government and the security and safety that went with it for nearly 200 years. For that reason, it was very well established. There's a lot of history of it, recorded history, and it provided a lot of prosperity for the people who live there. So it was a big deal. Second reason it's important is they had a lot of gold. They also had a lot of copper and a lot of ivory. This was a pretty important trading empire, and they had a lot of resources to trade. They especially caught the interest of the Portuguese, who ended up there in the early 1500s and eventually would have a colony in Mozambique, which is a whole other story. But there was a lot of trade and there was a lot of prosperity because of it. Gold, always a good thing to have in your nation. And another fact, what was the other thing I wanted to tell you? Oh, let me tell you a little bit about religion. So the king was an inherited position, as it always is. I didn't see any evidence of queens, so I guess it was just guys. So the king was considered sort of a god, and he was considered the only person who could talk to the creator god, who was this guy named Wari. So the king was very important, very respected, very revered. He had underneath him some lords, kind of like the feudal systems of Europe. I don't know if there were any attempted rebellions or any of that kind of stuff. I didn't get into it enough to see it, but it was kind of a setup like that, where these places that were kind of far flung were under one king, but they were also connected to little lords and little fiefdoms. So that is the story of the big, important, centralized, gold powerhouse, trade happy empire known as the Mutapa, which sadly came to an end in about 1627, I think. So read more about it, and if you want to make a little video like this, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Bye bye.